the real bald shredder. I think it's time to settle this once and for all. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel. That's right, this is the Bald Shredder channel, because I'm the Bald Shredder. Joe Satriani is not the Bald Shredder. Now what prompted this video, guys, is that every so often, kind of on a regular basis, I get comments on some of my videos, just wherever, random comment, and it's something like this. Dude, you're not the Bald Shredder. Joe Satriani is the Bald Shredder. Don't call yourself the Bald Shredder, because you're not him. It's Joe Satriani. Excuse me, but when has Joe Satriani ever referred to himself as the Bald Shredder? Oh, I'll tell you when. Never! Has he ever even acknowledged that, like, he's bald? Has he ever talked about that in an interview? I mean, he's not ashamed of it. He shaves his head, and in his pictures and his concerts, everything, he's bald, so he doesn't appear to be ashamed of that at all, which I totally admire. But he doesn't talk about being the bald Satriani or the bald guitar player. In addition, I've never, ever seen him refer to himself as a shredder. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to, like, pigeonhole himself into that one category, like, well, I'm an 80s shredder. No, he's an overall amazing guitar player that can do a whole lot more than just shred. So the point is, guys, he does not refer to himself as a shredder, and definitely not as a bald shredder. So today, I thought it would be fun if I tried to come up with my most Joe Satriani-like song ever. How close can I get to sounding like the one and only Satch? I mean, I'm definitely not a Joe Satriani clone, not even close. And to make it a little more challenging, guys, I decided that I would write and record the entire song on this Vangoa Strat that only cost $169. It doesn't even have a humbucker in the bridge position. And guys, after the jam, I'm gonna give you more information on this guitar. It's actually a pretty cool guitar. But before we do that, here's the jam. I'm calling this one Surfing with the Chrome Dome. Check it out. Alright guys, so what did you think? Did you like the tune? Be sure to let me know what you think of that song in the comments. And no guys, I don't think I'm better than Joe Satriani. I can't outdo Satriani. Basically what I'm trying to say is, I can't do Satriani better than Satriani because he's Joe Satriani. So I'm not claiming that. That was just me making my best effort to come up with something that would sound like a Joe Satriani song. Alright guys, let's talk about the guitar. This is the Strat style electric guitar that you can get from Vangoa. And this is actually the second time that I am reviewing this guitar from Vangoa. Pretty in pink? And I was impressed back then with the quality of the guitar, the build, the sound, everything, and I am equally as impressed this time. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a declaration right here, guys, and that declaration is that out of all the budget style guitars that I've tried, out of all the different brands, and I haven't tried every brand, but out of the ones that I personally have tried, as far as a straight up Strat style guitar, I'm talking about with the pick guard, the 3 single coils, you know, your basic Strat style guitar. Out of the ones that I've tried, this is by far the best. And I feel confident in saying that because I had the other one, and now I have this one, and there wasn't any like huge gap as far as like quality or mistakes or anything like that. It's actually a really nice guitar. Okay, so as I said, you know, it's your basic Strat style guitar. This one has a poplar body, it's got a maple neck, and then the fretboard, this is where it's a little bit interesting. The fretboard, it looks like it's ebony or something like that, right? But no, it's actually engineered wood, but it's really dark, and it's really nice. When I look at it, it doesn't look like some of the other cheaper engineered fretboards that I've seen. Some of them, like you can see like the little strips of grain, like where they manufactured it, and if you rub too hard on those, like the little pieces of engineered wood, like they rub off, they fall off. Not on this one. I mean, it's like, it looks like a solid slab of ebony. But it's not, but it's great. It's got 22 kind of medium, smallish style frets, but what you would expect on a Strat style guitar. All the typical features, 3 single coils, 1 volume, 2 tones, the 5-way blade switch, bolt-on neck, and while it appears to have a plastic nut, again, when you compare this to other cheaper guitars that I've seen, and I've seen a lot, it's way better. It's shaped correctly, it's not hanging off the side, it's not clunky looking. You know, sometimes they just look really bad, like they barely spent any time on it. But very nice. The height is good, the slots seem to be the right size for the strings, everything. And it's got, you know, 6 very basic chrome tuners, but really smooth. They turn easy, they don't lock up, they don't stick, like I've seen in other guitars. So even the tuners are good on this. Now I have to point out the finish, guys. Now you might be looking at this going, oh, that's just a straight up black guitar. You know, black with the white pick guard. Oh, yeah, that's cool. But when you look closely, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to capture this in a picture for you guys to see, it's not just straight up black. It's like a sparkly black, like you would see on a car. You know, sometimes you see those black cars. They're not flat black, but you look closely, it's got that little bit of sparkle in it. And it was the same thing with the pink one. It wasn't just a straight pink, it's that little bit of sparkle in the pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that probably all the colors have that little bit of sparkle in it, except maybe not the one that's the sunburst color, but the other colors like the green, the blue, whatever, I'm willing to bet they've all got that little bit of sparkle. So it's like everything on here is like a level up from those basic cheap Strat guitars that you can buy online. Talking about like the Glaries. Like this is 10 times better than that stuff. Just the build quality, the way it feels, the way it sounds. Even the pickups, I mean, these are cheap pickups, of course, and the electronics are gonna be pretty basic and cheap, but they do sound pretty decent. You guys heard it in the song. I didn't get a ton of feedback like I would normally get with some other single coils, so yeah, pretty darn good. The fretboard has a 14-inch radius. The profile on the neck, it's not super thin, but it's not, again, it's not those big, huge, round, chunky ones that you see on a lot of cheap guitars. So I'm really impressed overall. Even the neck plate's got the name and the logo of the company. Now it doesn't just come with the guitar, it's like a whole entire beginner's starter pack that comes with everything you need. It comes with this 10-watt amplifier. And it's a very basic amp. It's nothing special, it doesn't sound amazing, but it's certainly good enough for anybody who's first starting out. It's got crunch, it's got clean, you know, it's got a volume, it's got a treble, a bass, headphone jack, the little button to turn the drive on and off, just very basic. But what's kind of cool in the back, it's got this little kickstand. So if you're playing with it on the floor and you want to aim it up at you or whatever, you put the kickstand down and lean it back. So pretty cool. Let me give you guys a really quick little sampling of what the amp sounds like. But hang on guys, you don't just get the guitar and the amp, there's more stuff. A pretty nice gig bag. Nice padding, got the rubber foot on the bottom, got the straps to wear it as a backpack. Again, way better than those like paper thin gig bags that the Glaries come with. And it comes with this nice little red bag that holds all the stuff that you need, all the accessories, the cord, the cable, so you can connect the guitar to the amp, a tuner, so you can stay in tune, a capo, if you want a capo, an extra set of strings, so when you break your strings or they wear out and you're ready to change them, you've already got the next set ready to go. Your strap, so you can play standing up. Oh, what's this down in here? Oh, I know what it is. It's the whammy bar. Hook it on there and do some whammy, although I don't really recommend doing the whammy on this unless you know how to set up that kind of bridge properly. Otherwise, you're gonna go way out of tune right away. But it is in there. And we've got your basic user manual. I don't know if you really need that, but it's there. Polishing cloth, that's nice. 4 Vangoa guitar picks. Your truss rod adjuster. There's something else in there, it's hiding down in there. Oh yeah, and the little Allen wrench to adjust the bridge if you want to adjust the saddles, set that action higher, lower, whatever. And I think that is it. So bottom line on this, guys, is I think it is absolutely fantastic as a first guitar kit for anybody that's first starting out. You want to get this for, one of your kids, grandkids, whatever. Even an adult who's just starting out and doesn't know a lot about guitars, the great thing is, like, I didn't have to do anything to this. I didn't have to do any setup. I didn't have to take the neck off and shim it. All I did was basically tune it up and play it, okay? So that's great for anybody that's just starting out and they don't know what to do. Some of the other stuff, the cheaper stuff, it requires like quite a bit of setup work. So this one, no, good to go right out of the box. One thing that I will say, guys, is that the guitar comes set up with 10 gauge strings. 10 gauge strings, in my opinion, it's too heavy for like a beginner's Strat style guitar. I think it should come set up with 9s. The extra strings that it comes with, those are also 10s. Yeah, I think it would be better off if it was set up with 9s. Especially for kids who are just starting off, never played guitar before. It's gonna hurt their fingers when they first start playing. And the 9 gauges will feel a little bit easier. It's easier to bend the strings. So if I have one recommendation for Vangoa, I really think you guys should set these up with 9 gauge strings instead of 10. Now, parents, grandparents, whatever, you're out there and you wanna buy this, hey, it's gonna be a Christmas present for my kids or my grandkids. Buy some 9 gauge strings at the same time. I'll put a link for some Ernie Ball Super Slinkies. That's my string of choice. Buy a pack of those Ernie Ball 9 gauge strings. And as soon as they unwrap it on Christmas, the first thing is like, okay, let's swap out those strings, because the strings they come with are not great quality anyway. And I know what you're thinking, I've never played guitar before. I don't know how to change strings. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. Don't take this to Guitar Center and pay somebody to change the strings for you. It is not necessary. You can change the strings without even knowing how to play guitar. Watch a video on YouTube, how to change the strings on a Strat. It's so simple. You'll save money. Whoever is getting the guitar will be much happier that they've got a good set of 9 gauge strings on this guitar. It'll make it more enjoyable for them, and they'll be less likely to want to give up after a couple of weeks because their fingers hurt so much. And lastly, guys, I just want to say that yes, for sure, obviously, this thing is getting the Bald Shredder stamp of approval. And again, who's the Bald Shredder? I'm the Bald Shredder, not Joe Satriani, me. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time!